Hey YouTube, this is Firewizard23. I'm here to talk about the 6th book in the Alex Rider series, Ark Angel by Anthony Horowitz. Spoilers. Well, first off, my first thought on this book, very forgettable. I don't know, just nothing really stuck out when I'm reading this book. I have been reading books between this and the previous review you saw, but I really wanted to get into this once I got this book. But yeah, Alex Rider is shot at the end of... He's shot by a sniper at the end of Scorpia, and he's in a hospital where he meets this kid named Paul Drevin. And some guys break into the hospital to try to steal Paul, but he gets himself involved, and he makes it seem like they've kidnapped Paul, when in truth they've kidnapped him. He's captured by this terrorist group, and there's a very complex story going on where it is a fake terrorist group created by Paul's father, who wants to destroy all the evidence of his criminal activity by causing Ark Angel, a floating hotel in space, to crash into Washington, D.C. I mean, that sounds like it'd be really interesting, but I don't know, this story goes through the same beats that all the other Alex Rider books do, except the 5th one. The 5th one really kind of did something very different. And I think that's what's disappointing. Like, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I could tell you exactly the plot. We have Alex live his normal life. This weird thing happens. Alex becomes involved with the MI6. He gets all these cool gadgets from Smithers. He goes to the bad guys, but oh no, they find out he's a spy. And then the bad guy reveals his master plot. And then through a bunch of complicated circumstances, Alex saves the day. The 5th book broke that mold by having Alex really kind of be very suspicious of his role with MI6, and he wanted to join Scorpia to kind of get revenge on them. And that was a really interesting set of story arcs. And now we've almost kind of gone backwards. Like, Alex just kind of... He got himself involved again, and he worked for the CIA, not MI6. But Smithers was there, and he gave him gadgets. And, yeah, I just found this story very, very forgettable in that regard. It's like, you really kind of... Anthony, you kind of really set this up where... It almost seems like the series was going to change. As of the time of this recording of this review, the 10th and final book of this series, I believe, has been released. And I thought we were going to get into some really interesting complexities with Alex, where he would question the role of spy or agencies and stuff. Because, oh my god, they even have the pointer scene in this book where Nikolai Drevin, Paul's father, but the James Bond villain, he has to explain his master plan while spinning, in this case, cognac. He's explaining his master plan and what he plans to do, and why he's so evil and why it works. And oh my god, just shoot Alex already! This is something I've always actually had a problem with in James Bond's films. I never understand why they don't just shoot him. I never understand that. Why are you having all these complex plans? Why are you bothering to try to drown him? Why are you bothering to electroshock him? Why are you bothering to leave him in a building that you're going to set on fire with the hopes that he won't escape? It doesn't make any sense. You need to just handle this and do it flatly. There's no... I hate that about those movies. I've never liked that whole concept. And I am sure every James Bond fan out there could be like, oh, well, this movie, this happened. There was a laser that was going to cut him in half. Like, just shoot him! Maybe it's all the violence I see on TV and stuff, but it's like, I don't understand why it has to be these elaborate plans. I've never understood that. I feel like it's just to see something interesting. You know, I think that's actually what it is. It's to actually have it have its own feel. Because otherwise you'd be watching a cop drama. Because if everything was resolved by guns and stuff, you'd be watching CSI, you know. You'd be watching NCIS. You'd be watching a totally different type of reading a totally different type of program. But it's something that just kind of bothers me. I think it makes the villains come across as stupid, for lack of a better word. Yeah, just something that's always bothered me about the spy genre. And Anthony, I like what you've done with these first books, and especially what happened in Scorpia. I loved what happened in Scorpia. Oh my god, that was just great. And then you, like, backpedaled. I really feel this is like a major backpedal, that this should have actually taken place before Scorpia. Because there's very little of the plot that could not have taken place before Scorpia. And which is interesting because now, like, Scorpia, if I'm reading, the back of the 7th book, yeah, Scorpius comes back, so it's like, I think this is a really weird footnote to have this kind of happen afterwards, and I wonder if Anthony has received criticism of this book. I'll look it up afterwards. I wonder if he's received criticism saying, like, yeah, you probably should have written this before you wrote Scorpio. But yeah, that's my review of Ark Angel. It's still a great story. It was a great story. Alex goes into freaking space. Okay, that's kind of interesting. He goes into space for a short period of time. But, like, it's just so forgettable. I find this story just very, very forgettable. This is Firewizard23. Take care. Bye-bye for now, everybody.